everybody, we're going to do some more math. Today we're working on section 5.4. We're doing problem 14. So we're supposed to investigate the effect of the interest rate on simple interest amortized auto loans by finding the monthly payments and the total interest for a 4-year loan of $12,000 at 8.5% for part A. So there's a lot of important information already in the question. It told us that we're going to be working with a simple interest amortized auto loan, which means that we already know we're going to be using this formula right here with a little arrow next to it. It's the payment times 1 plus I to the nth power minus 1 over I again equals the principal times 1 plus I to the nth power. So let's go through what some of this stuff means. The payment is what we're solving for, as you can tell by finding the monthly payment up there. And that section is highlighted in yellow for another reason. It's because it tells us monthly, which is going to be important when we try to figure out what I means. So payment times 1 plus I. Now I, we know for problem A, our interest rate is 8.5%, but I is the periodic interest rate, which means that I is going to be plus 0.085, which is 8.5% expressed in a decimal form, over 12. And that's because these are going to be monthly payments, and we earn this amount of interest over the course of a year. So for one period, the interest rate would only be the 0.085 over 12. I'm going to take all of that to the nth power, and n is going to be 12 again times 4. And that's because we're doing this 12 times a year for 4 years. So that's how many times we're going to be making these payments. Minus 1. All of that is going over I again. All right, we're halfway done with setting up the problem. Equals P. Now P is our principal, and that's just the total amount of the loan, basically. That's the amount you're trying to borrow. Of course, you end up paying more because of interest, which is why we're doing this problem. 12,000 times 1 plus I again to the nth power again. I'm going to write down I and n just to help us remember. Awesome. Now we're just solving for payment, basically. So let's solve this side of the equation first, since there's no variables that we don't know. You're just going to plug this into your calculator, and hopefully you get this number. I'm going to take this out to a lot of decimal points just to try to keep this as close to accurate as possible. So that's 16,839.17706. Now let's solve this chunk. So you're going to plug all of this into your calculator. Maybe take it by each section of parentheses at a time. And hopefully once you plug all of that in, you'll get something like this number. Now all we need to do is get this separated. You can just put this number into your calculator, go divide by answer if you just did that. And then hopefully you get that your payment is $295.78 every month. But that is only part of what they actually asked us to do, if you remember. We're supposed to find both the monthly payments and the total interest. So if we know that this is our monthly payment, to find the total interest we're going to pay over time, we're going to take this payment times 12 times 4. That's because we're making those payments every month for 4 years. So the total amount of money that we're paying is $14,197.44. And so to find the total interest, we're going to take this and subtract our principal from it. And hopefully you get $2,197.44. And that would be the total amount of interest paid as you were paying off your loan. So for part B of this same problem, everything stays the same except we're just increasing the interest rate by 0.25%, and we're gonna see what it does. So that means, as you can see from this scribbled out section here, our I is gonna change. So now our I is gonna be 0.0875, still over 12. And that's because, again, we're earning the 8.75% interest over the course of a year, and this is happening on a monthly basis. Well, actually, we're not earning it, we're paying it to the bank. The bank is earning it, my bad. Let's plug some stuff in. So we're trying to find the payment. 1 plus I, we're gonna use our new I, of 0.0875 over 12. We're using the same n of 12 times 4, because this is still happening every month for 4 years. And minus 1, and that's all going over our new I. Equals P, the principal, which is still $12,000, times 1 plus our new I, to the n. Sick. So if you put all of that into your calculator, hopefully for this side of the equation, you got something that looks like this. And again, I'm going to take this out to multiple decimal places just to try to get it as accurate as possible. Now let's do that side. Plug that into your calculator. Sometimes we make mistakes, and that is a-okay. So just like our last problem, all we need to do is get this payment by itself. So you're just going to take this number and divide it by that number. And hopefully you get something that looks like this. So your total payments are going to be $297, and let's round that. That's annoying. 20 cents. So if you notice, our monthly payments are a little bit higher than our last problem, and that's because we raised our interest rate by 0.25%. Let's see what happens to the total amount of interest you pay over the loan period. So just like the last problem, we're going to take our monthly payment amount and multiply that by 12 times 4, because this is happening every month for 4 years. This looks very similar to your n. So if you multiply these guys together, you're gonna get $14,265.60. So that's the total amount of money you're gonna pay over the loan period. To find the total interest, we're gonna subtract the principal again. So minus 12,000. And hopefully, if you plug that into your calculator, you will see that your total interest comes to $2,265.60. And if you're curious, you can do the math and see how that compares to your last problem. And you will find that you're gonna pay $68.16 more because your interest rate is 0.25% higher. So if you'd like to save around $70, the previous plan might be a little bit better for you. All right, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Go enjoy some sunshine.